This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
I never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear.
Hey friends, you're listening to the Cat and Vee show. Pour yourself a juicy cup of tea, grab a seat, and get ready for us to dish. Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of the Cat and Vee show. Today we're talking about Onision, but before we jump into it, I gotta preference this, that all opinions that we are saying are our own, and the links for all the sources that we use are going to be on our website. You can either find that link on our Instagram at How's That Working For You, or just in the description of this podcast. So before you come at us, do a little research. And that's mostly to his fan base, because oh my gosh, the stans.
Does he really have a lot of stans? I just knowing from the stuff that I've read about him, from what I've seen of him, I'm appalled at the fact that there's anybody that supports him. But hey, like we said, it's our opinions. Like, I mean, if you want to come for us, then that's fine. But like, it's our opinions, and we've done our research.
I think the problem is people love to stand up for the poor, defenseless, handsome white men. Like, oh my gosh, the victims, right?
The poor, defenseless, handsome white man. Please stop. I can't really say much because I've dated a few of them, but you know, like, what can I do?
I'm not going to refer to him as Onision, his fun little nickname. His name is Gregory.
Gregory?
Motherfucking Gregory. Like, ugh. His name is Gregory. Like, let's not try to make him seem like this fancy, exotic creature. His name is Gregory.
I didn't even know his name. I didn't even think like Onision was like a cool thing. I don't even know how he came up with it, and I don't even care to look up how he came up with it at this point. Like,
I know. It probably had something to do with early YouTube, where everybody wanted this like fancy gamer tag name.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Either that, or I'll refer to him as Mr. Onion, like The Right Opinion does.
Mr. Onion. That's great.
I think it's great.
I mean, I would have, yeah, if I just glanced at his name, I would think his name was Onion too. Anyway, so let's just kind of like start off with how much each of us knows about Gregory. So actually, I hadn't heard anything about him for years because I just wasn't that active in that space on YouTube, I guess. I didn't really hear about it. And randomly, I was playing Scrabble on my phone, and one of the ads that came up was an ad about this documentary that they just released on Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus, not Disney Plus. I thought it was Disney Plus. I was going to watch it. But I had access to Disney Plus and not Discovery Plus, so whoops, my bad. Let me go find the name of that documentary. It's Onision in Real Life. That's what that documentary is called. And I did read about it. We will be linking some of the articles that we read on it in our wherever V said she would put the links. But yeah, I hadn't heard of him in a while, and all of a sudden he comes up on this random ad while I was playing a phone game, and then I just watched the the previews for it, and I was like, dang, this guy I knew it was bad. I heard bad things about him, but I didn't know that it went as deep as it is going right now. So V, why don't you take it off? Because I know you've been following this case since the dawn of time. So,
well, yes, because I am the queen of tea apparently, and I watch all the channels. And I think like all of the big commentary channels, iNabber, Bailey, The Right Opinion, like Marketplace, all of them have like made videos like, hey, YouTube, take this guy off the platform because he's using it to groom teenage girls. And YouTube's like, no, we love Gregory. Leave him alone. And I know he got a couple of iNabber's videos taken down claiming that they were copyrighted, which they weren't, obviously. He was showing clips of Mr. Onion videos And that's all here nor there. And so when I heard that it was a Discovery Plus thing, I was like, oh, I would love to hear like a bigger platform talk about like the toxicness that is this man who's destroyed so many young girls' lives. And so when I heard it was like from Chris Hansen, I thought it was hella funny, because Chris Hansen has a series on YouTube where he's interviewed Onision's father, his best friends, his ex-girlfriends, and there's dozens of them, and I used to watch them as they came out. And so I've been following this case since like 2005. And it's disgusting how much this man has gotten away with.
That's like years before we even knew each other.
I've always loved tea. Come on, like any like tea thing, you know I'm following it.
I don't know. I just like, I mean, we could do a whole episode on tea things, because like I used to spend a lot more time than I currently do on YouTube, like watching videos. Now it's mostly true crime videos, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to do a true crime episode, because I used to get bullied in school for being into true crime,
and now it's in.
Yes, I was like, damn, you guys are stealing my thing.
I know we're going off topic, but like Jordan and I now are like, it's just, we sit and we watch true crime. Like that's our thing now. Like he loves Kendall Ray. Anyway.
I have a lot to say about Kendall Ray, but that'll come up later. Actually, my sister and I both have a lot to say about Kendall Ray.
What's wrong with Kendall Ray?
There's nothing wrong with her, but she used to be a really good resource, and now she's extremely leaning towards biases and exploitative stuff instead of being for the people. And my sister and I have followed Kendall Ray for years together. Like, that was our thing.
Did you watch, oh man, I can't get off topic. But I want to ask, we watched the recent one on Chris Andreacchio, which was like, she did a documentary type thing where she went and visited his family with her husband, and we watched hers. And so they were talking about how the girlfriend may have had something to do with the murder of, like, supposedly it's a suicide, but they think that the girlfriend murdered. We also think so, but either way, they left out the part that the girlfriend was 17 at the time.
Well, see, that's what happens all the time. Let me jump back into the Onision thing, because that actually comes up in his story. Okay. So I think it's interesting that they had Chris Hansen like run it, because him and Mr. Onion have had like beef for years, and I haven't watched Mr. Onion videos where he like tries to debunk everything myself, just because I can't stand his face. But I think the thing that people keep forgetting is that Shiloh was 16 and he was 25 when they first started talking.
I read about that in his he's had multiple. Yes.
No, it's a cycle. It's a really big cycle, and Shiloh was the first one.
Is she
who was public?
I don't even know which one.
She was the first one that was public.
Okay,
because he was married to a woman, right? Yeah. But while he was with his wife, he contacted a 16-year-old girl on the internet.
He was like 25 or something?
He was 25 years old, talking to a 16-year-old. And everybody's all like, well, you don't know what was happening backstage. She could have been throwing herself at it. And it's like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter if a 16-year-old throws herself at you. You do not respond. Like,
you're an adult.
Yeah, you're a 25-year-old man. You're a 25-year-old man. Okay, keep going.
You are the adult. Okay. So the day she turned 17, he told her, I love you and I need to be with you and I want to put a baby in you. I want to put a baby in you. She's 17. And at this point, he's almost 26. So he starts looking up states that it would be legal for him to have sex with her in. He brings her to a different state to have sex with her when she is 17. Her first time seeing him in person, he is undressing her. That is grooming. And this country has such a problem with justifying grooming because it's the woman's fault. And that's what it always comes down to. And he has ruined this girl's life. He like moved her in with him and his wife. And that's a whole thing. And he, at some point, has convinced the internet that she has amnesia and she doesn't remember anything and he won't take her to the hospital. I don't know if it's true that this girl actually had amnesia. She was like 18, being groomed since she was 16 with this grown-ass man who's not taking her to get medical attention.
Where is she now?
I think she's with her family now, but this was years ago, back when the internet was still fresh in the early 2010s. But see, nothing has really changed since then because people are still like, oh, let's like make sure to protect the man because we don't know the whole story. And that always comes up. And it's like, as soon as I hear the girl's a teen, like, I don't care. He's an adult. And then there's always the whole, well, she could have lied about her age. And it's like, it doesn't matter. If she looks like a teen, she's probably a teen. And if she does look like a teen and she's an adult, then she should have to prove that she's not a teen. Like, I don't care if it means you're asking for an ID. Ask for a goddamn ID. It's not that goddamn hard. And then there's this other case with this 13-year-old. And he's all like, well, Justin Bieber hooked up with a 13-year-old. And it's like, well, Justin Bieber was 15 at the time. So, still disgusting. But why are you trying to, like, say that it's not your fault? And then he goes talking about Chris Hansen. And Chris Hansen has a lot of problems in and of himself. Like, he's 50 dating a 30-year-old, which is, like, fine. It's gross still. I think it's gross. But it's fine, because at 30, she's a grown-ass woman.
It's still legal. Yeah, she's a grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's in his 50s?
Oh, well, Chris Hansen's in his 50s, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's like with a 30, and it's like, you know, that's still not great, but you know, it's her life. She's an adult.
I mean, you just like don't think about, like just like
once you hit like 25, it doesn't matter.
I don't know. I mean, as long as like I mean, like when you're 30, you can make your own decisions. Like you're a grown ass woman.
Yes, it's like,
but like when you're 16, man, like I made so many. I don't know what like. If I couldn't make my own decisions when I was 16, like I probably would have thought I could, but like oh my God, the stupid.
I don't think at 19 I should have been able to make my own decisions because I was a dumb 19-year-old.
Yeah, no, some of the stuff I did when I was 19, I was stupid as hell too, so I can't.
And then this like, so he starts talking. He has this like 17-year-old living with him, and he starts telling the internet her and I aren't doing anything. In fact, this girl's hitting on my wife, and it's like, why is the teenager living with you? If her home situation is so bad that she's living with you, you need to call CPS because this is still a child. Like, she may look like an adult, but she's still a child. But this country is such a problem because like all that was happening, and he's done this with several other girls. It's a cycle. He meets them real young, he moves them in with him, and then they break up. Yeah, no, see, and that's not even the worst. So once he like is done with the girl,
what happens with like the other one? Yeah, what happens with?
So they leave, and he makes video after video attacking these girls. They get doxxed. They get harassed by his fan group. And then a T channel or a YouTube channel like that will make a video like, hey, weren't you just making videos with this chick like 3 months ago talking about how she's the light of your life and your whole world? And now you're this poor injured person getting hurt and manipulated by this teenager? Like, what's the deal? And he does this with so many girls, but the reason that the Shiloh case...
What a psychopath. Like...
Yeah, no, he is such a psychopath. And the reason that the Shiloh case is such, like, a big deal is he's still harassing this girl years later. Years later. And she's talking about how she felt so used, like, looking back by this man, because he's telling these girls, like, hey, you're special, you're one of the kind, you're not like the other girls. And then he goes right around to like slam them to the internet, to his large ass audience, telling them that I made you who you are today. You were nothing but a manipulative person. You were cheating on me, XYZ. But if you look at the timeline of any of his relationships, they always start before his last relationship ended. And it's like, why are you accusing the girl of cheating on you? If she did cheat on you, then it was a mutual cheating thing. And also, why are you dating teenagers? You're fucking grown. Can't you find any grown women? Oh, right. I know why you can't find any grown women, because no grown-ass woman wants to play with your dumb ass. Oh.
Disgusting. I know you're getting so angry right now.
Pisses me off.
It's like in the same context as like serial killers or people who kill for fun. It's like, why? You know, like I just can't. Like when you think about Onision and his like choices, his life choices, okay? Like he chose to bring. Wait, did he divorce his wife, like his very first wife, before he brought this young girl in?
It's not clear.
It's unclear. Okay, whatever. But either way, before that, like, so does he like cut it off with these like the first or like the original? I don't know. The girl that he's currently dating, does he cut it off with them before?
No.
That's disgusting.
No.
So at any given time, he has like two different women, or not even women, two different girls in his house.
Girls. Exactly. Girls.
like, I just don't I wish you could see my face. It's just like, I just don't understand what type of thought process would go through somebody's head to think like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm going to bring an underage girl to live with my other underage girl, and then I'm going to kick my other underage girl out and then harass her because this new underage girl is now the light of my life. Like, who?
Yeah. See, and then he goes off saying how it's not him harassing her, it's actually her harassing him. And it's like, it's a teenager. Do you know how many hormones she's probably dealing with right now? She was just convinced by you that, like, she matters to you. So, of course, she's going to fucking text you if you kick her out. She's probably dealing with so much in her, like, head emotionally that she doesn't know right from wrong.
16-year-olds are
She's
so...
a child.
Yeah, 16-year-olds are already so messed up to begin with. Like, they don't need this. They don't need... And it's just like, they probably see him as this, like, cool older guy.
Yeah, and they probably don't understand why is he breaking up with me, because they don't recognize his pattern. They see all of his exes and they probably just believe whatever bullshit he says out to the internet, and because they're kids, they're literal kids.
So like so let me like not rewind, but like just, this is my memory of what I saw from Onision that he uploaded years ago, is that like, I think he was trying to get like a tax deduction, like a tax refund for his, like, the place that he was living in and all the stuff he bought in his house, because he said that all the stuff in his house was bought for content that he was creating on his YouTube channel, was his main source of income. And I need to go find this video and show it to you, V. I don't even know. It's probably not even up there anymore because it's like, you know, did he get deplatformed already, or?
No, YouTube refuses to deplatform him. No matter what he does, he'll bring up text conversations with these underage girls that he's talking to, showing how sexual they are, showing how the girls like throwing themselves at him. And it's like, these are children that you're texting. And YouTube doesn't mind this?
Wait, so
YouTube doesn't mind this?
I don't understand. So YouTube will demonetize and take people off the algorithm for talking about important shit, but they won't deplatform a pedophile? Like,
yes. So yeah, in his videos, he's all like, oh, I have proof that they're nasty. I have proof that they're such and such. And then show these private conversations.
what about PewDiePie? Didn't he like get, like, he's still on YouTube, but he still got cut off from like everything though, right?
Yeah, he lost a lot.
Yeah.
PewDiePie did lose a lot, but Onision has never been harmed by YouTube.
What the hell? And like, I'm not gonna compare racism to like pedophilia. I'm not gonna compare it, but they're, if anything, equally as bad. Like,
I would say one's worse, and the one that has to do with children is worse.
okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, that's worse. You're right. I'm just trying to, you know me. I'm trying to like.
I understand where you're coming from.
I'm just like,
but my personal opinion is one is worse.
Yeah. Okay. So like, at least when you're like, I don't want to say anyone is worse, but yes, like sexualizing younger, like just
kids,
sexualizing 16-year-olds is like really, really bad. And somehow YouTube has decided to like, not ruin, well, I mean, PewDiePie's still doing fine, but like, at least they took away his like what YouTube Red and like all that stuff.
They took a lot from PewDiePie.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he's just untouchable, that man. So like, I don't know what, like,
he could retire tomorrow and be fine.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know what, like, I mean, PewDiePie, I've watched his stuff. I actually think he's pretty entertaining as a person, and he has apologized and stuff like that. People make mistakes, but like, it's like, when you sexualize young women, that's a mistake that you just shouldn't be able to come back from, right? Like, you can apologize for being like ignorant and blah, 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 and like try to change your ways. But if you've stuck your pee-pee into like a 16-year-old, like, you can't come back from that, okay? Like, you just can't. You can't come back from it.
No. See, and then he makes these long videos where he's trying to like debunk the person and drag their name through the mud and point out how he was in the right and they were in the wrong. And they're like 20 minutes, an hour long, where he's trashing this person, trying to say that their accusations, their experiences were incorrect. And then he goes after the person interviewing them. And it's like, dude, just take the L. Really, just take the L.
What's the L? Am I...
Loss.
Oh, the loss. Okay. Oh.
Have you really never heard that?
No.
I thought that was like common vernacular. I guess I game too much.
Maybe. Maybe you do. I don't game against other people. I just like play. We'll talk about my gaming habits later in this series, but either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's quite, I'm not gonna, like, fair is an interesting word to use, but like, I don't think it's quite reasonable for YouTube to like completely try to shut PewDiePie down. Try is the word here, because yeah. But then like allow Onision to just like go about his business, like trying to impregnate 16-year-olds, like one after the other, might I add.
Yeah. You're not the only one.
One.
Oh yeah, we agree. Deplatform Onision. So many YouTubers are all like, they make our platform look bad.
Wait, so what's wrong? Wait, so what is, like, is Onision sucking someone's dick? Is that like
probably
like why?
Okay. Also, so I didn't watch it because I refuse to watch any of his content. But apparently he live streamed the entire documentary about himself, adding his own commentary, trying to take it apart. And he still didn't get a copyright strike.
There's something wrong here.
Exactly.
There's something wrong here. Does he have like a monopoly over YouTube? Like,
I don't know. Like what's going on? He hasn't even been on there as long as Shane Dawson, and Shane Dawson lost so much shit, but Onision hasn't.
Oh man, girl, you need to talk about Shane Dawson, because I don't.
Oh god.
We'll talk about him. We might even like this podcast is kind of like our fun podcast. So we don't like with How's That Working For You, which you should check out, by the way. If you haven't, it's kind of our brainchild. That one's the one that we actually plan and we like research for. We do all that stuff for. But this one kind of like, there's no particular order in what,
and whatever happens.
Yeah. So like, we may talk about Shane next time. We may not. We may talk about Rhett and Link. We may not. It doesn't really matter. But now you're like, after talking about this, I feel like it would be a natural transition to talk about Shane. Like.
Guess we'll have to call it here, but if you guys want to know anything more about how disgusting this person is, check out our research. Do what I do, which is like every now and then just report his channel. Eventually, if enough people do it, YouTube might listen to us. And that's the moral of the story, is YouTube's unfair.
It's more than unfair. Like, something's wrong. Like, there's something wrong.
Something's wrong.
Like, there's not like, it's not like YouTube is doing something very active to ignore every single person who's called him out, which is very like suspicious, very sus, super sus. Anyway, let's close it up for this episode. Let's talk about Shane next. What do you think?
Sounds good. Hey, you guys, if you haven't already, be sure to check us out on social media. We are on Instagram at the Cat and Vee Show. Check out our other podcasts. Links for everything are in the description. We'll see you next time.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Patrick.
I'm Andrew. And I'm Christian.
And I'm Alec.
And we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.